Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There are moments in life when you can look back and see almost clearly what was missing. Not in a dramatic way, not always something that you could even explain at the time. Just a feeling, a sense that something should have been there and wasn't. Maybe it was patience. Maybe it was understanding. Maybe it was someone who could sit with you without trying to fix you. I think most of us carry something like that. A quiet memory of what we needed and didn't receive. And for a long time, it's easy to think of those moments as something behind us, something that belongs to the past. But if you pay attention, you start to notice something else. Those same needs don't disappear. They echo. They show up again in different forms. In the way we respond to others, in the way we react under pressure, in the way certain moments affect us more than we expected. And sometimes, without realizing it, we begin to pass along what we once experienced. Not because we want to either, but because it's what we know. And that's where something important begins to shift. Because there comes a moment, quiet, almost unnoticeable at first, where you have a choice. You can continue what was passed to you, or you can begin something new. I remember recognizing this in my own life, not as a grand realization, but in smaller moments. Moments where I felt the familiar pull to react a certain way, to close off, to rush, to respond from a place that didn't feel quite right. And in those moments, there was a pause. Just enough space to see it. Just enough space to choose something different. And it wasn't always easy. I realized it, but because choosing something different often means stepping into something unfamiliar. It means offering patience when you didn't always receive it. It means giving understanding when you once needed it yourself. It means becoming in real time the kind of presence that you once hoped for. And that's not always comfortable at all, but it's powerful. Because when you do that, you're not just changing a moment, you're changing a pattern. You're creating something that didn't exist before. And that has a way of reaching further than you might expect. The person in front of you feels it. The moment shifts, something softens, and just like that, something new begins to take shape. Not perfectly, and not all at once, but meaningfully. I think about how different the world would feel if more of us made that choice. Not as a responsibility, not as something that we have to do, but as something we're capable of, because we know what it feels like to need it. See, that's a lot of what empathy is, guys. We know what it feels like when it's missing. And that understanding, that lived experience becomes something that we can offer. Not from a place of obligation, but from a place of recognition. A quiet knowing that says, I understand and I'm here. And maybe that's how things begin to change in this world. Not through grand movements, but through moments like that. Moments where someone decides to respond differently. Moments where someone chooses to bring care into a space that needed it. Moments where the past doesn't get repeated, but gently rewritten. So if there's something you once needed, something that would have made a difference, something that you still feel even now, maybe that's not just something to remember. Maybe it's something to become. And not all at once, and not perfectly, as we've said, but in the next moment that calls for it. Because you have the ability to be that presence right here, right now. For someone else, and in doing so, you may find something else happening too. You begin to give that same care back to yourself in the way you respond, in the way you allow yourself space, and in the way that you choose not to carry forward what no longer needs to continue. That's huge, guys. And that's where something truly meaningful begins. Not just in the world around you, but within you. A quiet shift, a new direction, a different way forward. And you make that decision, all from a simple human choice. The choice to become the place, to become the place you once needed. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out there and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Only pass along that good stuff, that bad stuff you don't need anymore. Stop passing it along. Later.
Years